Hi there, this is Louisa Whitney from LKW Family Mediation. Apologies if you have just had some weird things flash up. I've been trying to go live. I was trying to do it on my laptop, but Facebook seemed to have changed everything around and the camera kept flipping to the back. And I think anybody working from home knows that at the moment you need the camera set up at the right angle, otherwise all manner of weird things could be shared on the internet. I hope that you're doing okay, that you're managing to stay safe and well. It's not easy currently. And particularly I wanted to come on and talk a bit about that in the context of co-parenting across two different homes. You may have seen at the beginning of last week, the government issued guidance on this that was initially wrong, and so there was, I think it was Michael Gove who went on Good Morning Britain and got the situation wrong, which caused confusion for lots of parents who have separated and who manage care of their children across two homes. Things are already difficult at the moment without that level of confusion, I think. So I've written a blog about this that I will link to, but I also just wanted to come on here and talk a bit about that. The guidance has now been made much clearer in that if you are parents who manage care of your children because you've separated, it is perfectly okay for you to leave your home for the purpose of transporting your children between their parents' homes. And that's clear, it's one of the exceptions. So I think that's helpful for you to know. I think there are many challenges at the moment in terms of managing care across two homes. The ones that have particularly come to me is what happens where one parent is a key worker, so they may still be having to go out to work. One parent may be working from home. The also biggest challenge that I know a lot of people have been talking about is what happens when you have a vulnerable person in your house. So that could be someone who has an ongoing health condition, or it could be that you live with an older relative who is over 70. And this is where I think there really are no easy answers. I know that there are lots of parents who are concerned that if their child goes back and forth between houses, then is that posing a greater risk for the vulnerable person in one of those households? And what I've been saying about this is that I really think there are no rules about this. If you feel that there is a risk to the health of someone, then that's something you need to have a conversation about as parents to navigate a particular system and to think, what are the risks? Are there ways of minimising the risks? Or if you're in a situation where one parent is not going to see their children for a period of time, how will you manage that? Because it's going to be upsetting for you, it's going to be upsetting for your child. What can you do to try and make that a little bit easier? Now, that could be because there is a vulnerable person in one household and you've made the decision that the child will not go and see that other, or your child will not go and see the other parent at the current time. And to be clear, I don't think that's a decision that everybody needs to make. I think it's very much decisions that need to be made in the circumstances. But I know that there can be situations where if there are symptoms in one household, then that household has to self-isolate for 14 days. So that would then mean that a child or children would remain with the parent they're self-isolating with for 14 days. If the child then develops symptoms, they then have to self-isolate for a further 7 days, which could take them outside of the original 14 days. So potentially you may not see your child or children for 3 weeks if they're in that situation. So how can you still spend quality time together, do things? Well, one of the things that really comes to me is using video technology, whether that's WhatsApp video, FaceTime, or using other things like Zoom, Skype. And I've heard some really great and creative ways from my clients of using these technologies. I've been talking to people about homeschooling. So the parent that the child's at home with has done some lessons in the morning, and then in the afternoon the other parent has taken over doing some lessons via WhatsApp or FaceTime. Or another parent has read the child their bedtime story over FaceTime so that they've been there. And I really do understand that this is not the same as being with your child and being able to hold them and give them a kiss. But these are unique times when people, I think, have to work out, how can we make this work? And work might not mean, oh yeah, I love this. Work might mean, how can we do this so everybody suffers as little upset as they can? And doing homeschooling or bedtime stories by a video link may be something that helps them to just navigate this particular difficulty. And I think it's really important to kind of remember that we are in unique times, and what happens now is not what's going to happen forever. This time will end, and you will then be able to put back in place your usual routine. The question is, what is going to get you through co-parenting and making sure that your child is still maintaining their relationship with both parents during this time? And I really encourage you to be creative about this. Don't think, oh, we've got to, let's look at the ways other people have done it. What would work for you? You know your child best, you know your children best. What would they like? Get them involved. It's something you can even ask them about. As a child inclusive mediator, I find children often have really creative ways of helping their parents navigate these particular solutions. These situations, and certainly homeschooling my own children, when we've kind of hit problems around stuff, asking them has often elicited solutions that I maybe hadn't thought about, or that my husband hadn't thought about. So I think the key messages that I think you need to take from this are, there is no map, there is no blueprint for these times. All you can do is navigate a way that feels right for you. Know that this is just a blip in time and it will end, and whatever you do now doesn't have to be what you do forever. Also know that there is support out there if you're finding it difficult, whether that's emotional support or whether that's that you need help with making the arrangements. Family mediators are still working online and can help you with those arrangements. There's also other support services that look at the emotional issues such as counselling, or support services for helping with children are still running online. So that's all it from me today. I will share a link to the blog. If you feel you could do with some more help, or you just want pointing in the right direction, please do get in touch with me, and I will do my best to help. Thanks for watching today. Bye for now.